So here's the deal. Diddy's in the middle of a serious legal mess, and it's a lot more intense than anyone ever expected. We all known about some of his past controversies, but now he's facing federal charges that are a whole different level. A superseding indictment was just unsealed, and it just added more fuel to the fire. Now, these charges are some heavy charges. I'm talking about sex trafficking, racketeering, forced labor. We know the story by now. These are some heavy charges. Prosecutors claim that he ran a criminal operation known as the Combs Enterprise and that it involved some seriously messed up stuff, including using threats and violence to force people into sex acts and other criminal activities. The allegations go all the way back to 2004 and stretch up to as late as 2024. It's a long timeline, which makes this even more complex. And now Diddy's not having none of it, right? He flat out denied all the accusations, saying everything that went down was consensual. His legal team argues that the charges are based on shaky ground and don't hold any water. Of course, we really won't know how strong his defense is until the trial starts, but for now, he's sticking to his story. That's his story and he's sticking to it. The legal team is pushing hard to clear his name, and the trial is right around the corner. Jury selection is set for May 5th, 2025, and the opening statements are scheduled for May 12th. It's going to be a long, drawn-out process, of course, and people are already watching closely. Diddy has been pretty active in the media over the years, and now everyone's focused on how this plays out. He will most definitely not come out of this unscathed. It is the end of his career, okay? It's catching up to him. It's D-Day. It's catching up to him. Well, I mean, it's hard to say right now, but the charges are huge. If he's found guilty, it's definitely going to infect his empire. And I wouldn't say it's going to shake up the entertainment industry more than it already has. Some crazy things have been happening. So, there's always talk about the power dynamics in Hollywood and in the music world, but this could bring a new wave of scrutiny. It's already raising questions about accountability for powerful figures in the industry more than it already has. Some people are shocked and don't want to believe it, right? And others are saying it's about time someone in his position faced real consequences. It also made people think about the darker side of fame, especially when it comes to how some people in the industry use their power and influence. At the end of the day, though, the real focus will be on the trial, and that's where we get the full picture. Both sides are going to present their case, and we'll see how the justice system handles Diddy. He's been at the top for decades, and no matter how this plays out, it'll leave a mark on him. It'll leave a mark on him, his brand, and the entire industry as a whole. And now, I just wanted to say this. A lot of people, they say, oh, you got to separate the art from the artist. I still listen to Diddy. I still listen to R. Kelly. I still listen to all these people. And that's fine, right? That's fine. But let me just say this. It is completely possible to separate the art from the artist without separating the artist from reality and its consequences. Let me say that again for the people in the back. It is completely possible to separate the art from the artist without separating the artist from reality and its consequences. I think people say, well, I just worry about the music. I don't, all that other stuff ain't got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? His personal life ain't got nothing to do with me, which is, it's kind of a lie, right? Let's be honest. When you find a new favorite artist or a new favorite producer or whatever the case may be, and you've listened to all of their songs, let's say music, movies, whatever the case may be, you've listened to all their songs, you've watched all their movies, whatever the case is, what do you do after that? What do you do after that? You go find out more about the person behind the persona. It's not until you find something that you don't like to where you said, oh, no, that has nothing to do with me. So let's just be honest here. It's completely possible to separate the art from the artist without separating that artist from reality and its consequences and still holding that artist accountable. Whether they like it or not, they're indirectly responsible for everybody they influence. They're indirectly responsible for the shadow that their influence casts on people, if that makes sense. The reaction to Diddy's legal situation has been loud, divided, and full of emotion, right? For a lot of folks, it feels like the fall of a giant. We're talking about a man who helped shape the sound of hip-hop and R&B in the late 90s and early 2000s. A man who was once synonymous with style, success, and hustle. So now that he's facing charges like sex trafficking and racketeering, people are honestly in disbelief. On social media, the takes are all over the place. Some fans are still holding out hope, defending him, saying things like, oh, Diddy helped put so many people on. No way he could have done all this. They're pointing to his decades of philanthropy, business deals, and the artists he's elevated. They see him as a target, a high-profile black man that the system is trying to tear down. But then there's the other side, right? Like, they're not mincing words. A growing number of people, especially women, are saying enough is enough, right? Like, they've been side-eyeing Diddy for years, recalling past stories, uncomfortable interviews, and overall whispers from the industry. To them, this doesn't come out of nowhere. You feel what I'm saying? It's just that now people are finally having the courage to come forward. Some people are even comparing this moment to R. Kelly or Weinstein, saying Diddy's facing a reckoning that's long overdue. Totally different situations. You can say they're different. They're not the same. You can't compare them. I don't think it's possible to highlight the similarities in two cases while also admitting that they're two totally different things. I think that's very possible to do. Now, a lot of artists who once shouted "Bad Boy for Life" are going quiet. You know, you're not seeing many people jump to his defense. In fact, some who were close to him have suddenly gone radio silent. A few have even started scrubbing old photos or posts, and that speaks volumes. Nobody want to be caught on the wrong side of history, especially in the era of cancel culture and accountability. It's not just about the optics, though. It's about survival in an industry that's becoming less and less tolerant of scandal and abuse. Diddy was more than an artist, though. He was a businessman. He was a brand builder. He had partnerships, endorsements, and investments that extended beyond his music. And now all of that is on shaky ground. It's not just about the court case. It's about whether his name will still hold weight if he's found guilty, or just if more damning details come out. There's also a broader cultural conversation happening. People are asking why it took so long for these stories to surface, why victims didn't feel safe coming forward before, and what kind of behavior the industry has been willing to excuse in exchange for success. Diddy's case isn't just about him. It's becoming a symbol of something bigger, how fame, power, and unchecked influence can create a dangerous mix behind doors. All in all, people are watching pretty closely, and however this shakes out, it's clear the world's relationship with Diddy is never going to be the same.